Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mr. Jordan. I am the Director of Student Services, and with me we have,
Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Holzing, and I'm one of our school-based counselors.
and today we are going to go over the eighth grade, incoming eighth grade presentation for those who were not able to make it to our eighth grade parent night. So we'd like to welcome everybody to this presentation. We'd like to start off with some of our remodeling that we've done on our campus in order to expand our school. On the right-hand side of our school, when you pull up, you will notice that we do have new construction going on. It is a part of our agricultural and CTE project in order to expand our ag buildings within our campus. And on this slide, you could see that we have remodeled the school quite a bit in the last couple of years. So we've used the bond dollars in order to renovate the school to give the students a prideful place to call home for the next 4 years. So we've redone the lockers, the floors, the ceilings, as you can see. We've also redone the water fountains too, which is a pretty big deal for kids who like to refill their water bottles and not just have to stand at the drink station itself. And the wing does look beautiful. The classrooms have also been redone in order to get better lighting within the room and a little bit more space within the classrooms themselves. And we've worked on our air and heating conditionings too. One of the biggest things that we've done has been in our gymnasium. We replaced the old wooden benches to these brand new modern electric stands where students and parents can come and enjoy their students' athletics within our gym. We've also redone part of the, as you can see, the track and the bleachers within the football field as well. If you have any questions before we continue on, if you have any questions later on after this PowerPoint and you want to get a hold of either the superintendent or the principal, their information is located right here on this slide. You can call the school and ask for Mrs. Newman or the principal, Mrs. Edwards. Her extension is located right there as well at extension 108. You can reach Miss Newman at nnewman@wheatlandhigh.org and Miss Edwards at sedwards@wheatlandhigh.org. Course requirements. So what courses do my students need in order to graduate from Wheatland Union High School? Well, here they are. So these are the course requirements for the class of 2025, 2026, and your class, the class of 2027. So they need 4 years of English, which is 4 classes of English, which they will meet in their 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th year. We offer the college prep English, and then as well as a few other honors courses as they advance in the years, and dual enrollment too. Social science, we have world history, US history, and then a civics and econ combo class, which they will meet their sophomore, junior, and senior year. Math, we do require that everyone completes integrated math 1 or algebra 1 equivalent. For us, it's integrated 1. There are 3 years of math total that are required to graduate from here. What that looks like can be different depending upon your student. And we will be taking math recommendations from the students' teachers coming from 8th grade into 9th grade to place them. Science, we require a life and a physical science, so 2 years. Physical education, we follow the California system where we do require 2 years of PE. Get Focused, Stay Focused has been our 9th grade social science class, and it is taken in grade 9, so they need 1 year of that. Visual Performing Arts, they will need 1 year of visual and performing arts, or a foreign language. So it's either or for graduation requirements. They will also need 1 year of a CTE pathway. We recommend 2 or more so that they can be a CTE completer and have the opportunity to maybe gain some certificates or some experience in a CTE field. And electives, they will need 9-year elective credits. So 9-year-long classes of electives. Pirate Focus has replaced we used to have a health and geography requirement a few years back. Now it's the Pirate Focus, Get Focused, Stay Focused. It is a graduation requirement, so all freshmen must enroll. They do spend the time doing career exploration and life planning, where they will take time to even do some budgeting and talk about more of the real world situations of earning money and jobs and careers. They can earn college credit through Yuba College. They'll need to fill out a form in order to do that. They will learn how to plan, change your mind, and explore career interests and options. So it teaches flexibility. Choose the skills you'll need to get the job you want to live the life you want to live, and the classes in high school to help you live it. So it plans them out for the next 10 years. so that students can start thinking about long-term goals. There's lots of games, activities, great discussions, and more real world talk, real life talk within there. And then they can actually choose their career pathway, kind of like a major in college, and see what they need to do and explore how to get there. This is a class where everyone says, I wish I had a class like that in high school because it teaches a lot more real world application.
So while students are creating that 10-year plan, a lot of them may have college in mind. If the student's goal is to go straight to a four-year college here in California, the requirements are a little bit different. What Mr. Jordan just went over is our local high school graduation requirements. For UCs and CSUs, which are public schools, public universities here in California, there's a different set of requirements. They're called the A through G requirements. You'll probably hear that a lot over your students' next 4 years. This is a set of requirements that you have to complete in order to apply directly to those schools straight out of high school. If we go to the next slide, we'll look at the big differences between high school and the A through G requirements. The first one is going to be in high school, the minimum grade needed to consider a class towards those requirements is going to be a D. So we kind of have a saying, we tell students, D's get your high school diploma, while C's give you the opportunity for a college degree. So for the UC and CSU A through G requirements, you need a C or better in all of those classes. And then another big difference is for math. As Mr. Jordan said, our requirement is just to get through integrated one in 3 years, whatever that may look like. But for the A through G requirements, you do have to complete 3 years of math. So that's still the same, but you have to have 3 different levels. So usually that looks like integrated 1, integrated 2, and integrated 3. And then the last big difference is for our high school graduation requirements, we have that 1 year of either or, a world language or visual performing arts. But for the A through G requirements, you have to have both those things. So it is 2 years of a language and 1 year of a visual performing arts. So again, they are pretty similar to our high school graduation requirements, but the big difference is going to be these 3 things. And this is something that we highlight over the years with students as well. So something to just keep in mind as they're going through their 4 years of high school. So we're just going to go through a couple different programs we have here at Wheeling just to highlight it and to see the different opportunities your student can be involved in. The first one is going to be our CTE pathways. We have been investing in these pathways and expanding and offering new pathways every year. So the benefits of completing a CTE pathway overall, it makes students more employable straight out of high school. So if a student's goal is to go straight into the workforce, they can go into a job with more skills, meaning that they won't be paid entry-level minimum wage. Hopefully, ideally, they can be paid at a higher wage because they have skills that they earned while they were still in high school. And now even our college students are like, well, I'm going to college, I'm not going straight to work. Most people have to work even while they're in college, so if they complete a CTE pathway, that's something they can put on their job applications, their resumes, on their college applications, that really just show that they have different transferable skills that will help them down the road, that they invested and chose a topic and kind of stuck with it. Every pathway does have different courses. Everyone starts with an introduction, which is pirate focused, so every student has to take that already. And then from there, there'll either be 1 or 2 concentrators, most just have 1. And then the final class will be a capstone. So depending on when students kind of take the concentrator, the first concentrator class, they can complete more than 1 pathway during their 4 years here at Wheeling. Just to give you a closer look at what all of our different pathways are, because that image can be kind of hard to see since we do have so many and adding more every year, as you can see here. Each pathway is tied to a different industry. So if students maybe are interested in one industry, they can explore a different industry. Pirates at Sea, so the C stands for Scholar Enrichment Academy. This is our early college program here at Wheeling. The first thing is that all of our Pirates at Sea students are sorted into different cohorts based on CTE pathways. So each student in Pirates at Sea is dedicated to completing a CTE pathway, kind of exploring a different job, a different industry, to see what they might be interested in for after high school. And then while they're doing that, they're also committing to challenging themselves in the classroom. So this looks like taking more college level classes, college prep classes. It really depends. Here, we're pretty likely to be able to customize students' education plans to help them kind of reach the goals they want to reach. So we really focus on getting students' general education requirements done. That way, when they go to their university, they can kind of focus more on those major classes because we found that a lot of students get lost in the general education requirements. They're like, why am I learning this? I already learned this for my last 12 years of schooling. So this way, students can go more into classes that they're really interested in, but we also do have students who complete their associate's degrees while they're in high school. So depending on what your students' goals are, if they just want to get some general education requirements done, or if they want to complete an associate's degree, we can help them do either or. We will have a Zoom information meeting for incoming ninth grade students at the very end of this month on February 28th. The link can be found on our website, and the application is currently open for incoming ninth graders. It will be due on March 31st, so there still is some time if you would like to apply. I am our specific assigned school counselor for this group, so if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me directly, or you can also email the email listed on here, careers@wheatlandhigh.org. Awesome. So athletics. So while we value academics clearly, we also have a very thriving athletics program. Even though we are a small school, we do have very many different sports to offer to all of our students. So these are them listed here. We are partnered with Under Armour, which allows us to be a woman of will school that really works to boost female athletes. If you go ahead and scan this QR code, we'll stay on this slide for just a minute. We use an app called the Band app that all teams communicate through. It's an easy way for parents and students to get information about the different sports, but also a safe way to communicate between all the different avenues. So again, those are all of our sports we offer. Newly this year, we do have an esports team, so that's pretty exciting. It is an up and coming sport, so we're pretty excited to be able to offer that to our students as well.
Okay. So for those of you who are interested in wanting to play Division I sports or Division II sports or just be an NCAA athlete in general, there is a timeline that students do need to complete in order to be eligible. So freshman year, they don't need to register for the NCAA requirements or the NCAA clearinghouse. It's actually the time for them to be able to look through the courses that we have on our campus. So myself, Mr. Jordan, I have access to those NCAA requirements for our school specifically and what courses they can take. So my recommendation is that if you have a ninth grader who is very interested in wanting to take NCAA courses or wants to try to become a D1 or D2 athlete, to have them see me or their counselor right away so that we can start planning what that looks like. It isn't until the 10th grade that they actually need to register for the NCAA clearinghouse. There's a free clearinghouse one, and then there's a $79 paid clearinghouse account that they can have. That one is going to be the one that allows us to upload tests and where other schools can kind of check on students, and it's a little more active in terms of students who want to be D1 or D2 athletes. It's a lot more helpful, I would say. Grade 11 is going to be study. That's when we start actually updating and pulling reports for students and placing them through their NCAA clearinghouse account so that colleges can start looking at them. And then in grade 12, I'll be sending in their final transcripts. Any tests that they decide to take for college, they need to send it to the clearinghouse too. And then we can just try to make sure on our end that they're taking the courses that they need. Some of the departments that we have on our campus that we feel really do a lot. I mean, all of them are amazing, but ones that we want to highlight is first our music department, which is currently hosting Guitar 1, 2, and 3. They will also have a symphonic band coming up, a choir, and a drum line. Guitar is one of our more newer courses and has really taken off. Kids that want to learn, we advise them to sign up early so that they can get into that Guitar 1 class and learn the basics. Our 2 and our 3 are a little more advanced. Symphonic band is more of our marching and symphonic band, so there are some after-school activities that take place with that one. Our choir is our chorus, so it gives opportunity to students who want to sing and be involved on our campus and do some of like the winter concerts, the spring concert, and all of that. Drumline is one of our, it is somewhat a part of our band, and it helps students who want to advance their skills within the drums on there. We are a very big FFA school for those of you that don't know. I'm sure everybody is aware of it, but Wheatland Union High School has a huge ag following, hence the new ag pathway building that we built. We have a lot of pathways within our agricultural department, starting with the ag mechanics and metal fabrication. That is our welding class. We do have a construction class as well, a horticulture class with plants. We have a floral design, and our sciences are growing within the ag field with ag bio, ag animal science, and plants and soil science, as well as ag biology. Some of the career development teams that we do have on our campus that students can take advantage of while they're here is they can raise an animal and be involved in other ways in the agri-science fair. We have agricultural welding, where students are a part of projects where they can help. Some people do tractors, some people are helping doing repairs on things. It's pretty amazing. We have a design and build construction team where students will compete with other schools in designing and building a shed. We have farm records, livestock, vegetable crops, and as well as a floral department, which sells arrangements for every season as well. So there are a lot of ways that students can get involved within our agricultural department. Like I said, it is, if not one of our biggest pathways here on campus.
So while FFA has been around at Wheatland for a while, as we are expanding our CTE pathways comes different CTSOs, which stands for Career Technical Student Organizations. For every pathway that's related to an industry, there's also a CTSO that we have introduced here at Wheatland. So for our future business leaders, we have FBLA. So this is going to house all of our business pathways. As you can see here, these are the classes that fall under FBLA. And then for FCCLA, this is Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. So this one's a little bit wider. It houses our education and food and hospitality pathway. And then Skills USA is going to house our game design and video production pathways. And then HOSA will be our future healthcare professionals. So all of our students in our patient care pathway can be involved in this organization. To be an FFA, you have to be in an ag class. To be in any of these organizations, you have to be in one of the classes listed below. Some students might not get into these classes until their sophomore, junior, senior year, just based on the requirements they have to take during that grade level. But if students are really interested in any of these industries and want to become involved sooner, we can always connect them to the advisors for these organizations. To highlight specifically our food services, we're pretty lucky to have the award-winning chef on campus. There she is. So we're really lucky to have Chef. Our food services program is pretty stellar. We have Culinary 1 and Culinary 2. Our chefs won awards at state fairs, been on the Food Network kind of award competition show. So we're lucky to have this program, and it's really something students enjoy. If students are more interested in the leadership side of things, we have two different opportunities for students to be leaders on campus in a classroom setting. So students will have these classes and then do different activities on campus. For our ASB leadership, this is the more traditional leadership that people think of when they think of high school leadership. So they focus a lot on school spirit, doing different activities around campus. You can see these pictures. This is kind of what they do. The application is due today, February 10th, but if you are worried that you weren't able to get the application done or maybe something else happened, you can always run for a leadership position in the very beginning of the school year as a freshman and still become a part of the leadership class. And if you didn't make it in their freshman year, that's okay. You have 3 more years. And so our other leadership opportunity, it is called the Student Culture Advisory Council. So this is not necessarily a traditional school spirit leadership council, but it is another way to be involved and be a leader on campus. Our Student Culture Advisory Council focuses more on building community and our campus climate overall. If students are interested in being a part of this group, you can go ahead and email one of our assistant principals, Ms. Lauren Link, and her email is listed there as well. So that kind of is the highlight of our different clubs, different programs, different opportunities. Now, once students are here, the transition to high school isn't always the easiest thing, or maybe as they're working through Pirate Focus, they need some support in planning or kind of figuring out what they want to do after high school. We have a lot of different areas on campus for support. So we have the CTEC Center, the WeWork Center, and the Tutoring Lab. The CTEC Center, this is our College and Career Readiness Center. So they help with Pirates at Sea, CTE pathways, Pirate Focus, kind of all these different things, really college related and supporting those CTE pathways. And then also really helping with adult enrollment, concurrent enrollment, basically any form of college classes students are taking, they will spend some time in the CTEC Center getting signed up for them. And the next area is going to be the WeWork Center. So while the CTEC Center focuses more kind of on the college side of things, the WeWork Center helps with all things jobs. So maybe if a student wants to work while they're in high school, how do they find a job? How do they prepare for a job? What to wear to an interview? All those different things the WeWork Center focuses on. And then the last one is the tutoring lab. This is open for all of our students. It's an area where students are struggling in classes. They can get help and support in there. In addition to our tutoring lab here on campus, we do have tutor.com. This is free for all students and it's a 24/7 live tutoring service. So students can log in any time of the day, any day of the week, and get some help if they need it in classes as well. And then outside of areas on campus, we also have people on campus who can help. So while Mr. Jordan and I are school counselors at heart, we help where we can socially, emotionally, but sometimes we have students who have needs that are outside of our scope. So when we need to, we do refer students to our school-based therapist. So we are very lucky to have 4 different people here on campus who can help with all these different things. So outside of individual sessions, they also work with families. They do group therapy as well. Pretty much anything under the sun that touches mental health, they're able to support with, and they will. So it's a really awesome team we have here to support our students.
Okay, so for those who have students that are coming to our school but may not want to be on campus for whatever reason, we do offer an independent study program on our campus. We currently use a program called Admentum. It is student-paced learning. The student will check in with the teacher about 2 times a week via Zoom. Extra help can be obtained via tutor.com. So every student here has access to that tutor.com app. And then they can log in, and the way that they find their username and password has to do with their student ID. Just note that if a student does choose to do the Admentum or the Wheatland Virtual Academy option, it does require active engagement for an average of about 3 to 4 hours a day. And we will reach out to families if a student isn't participating in the program but is signed up for it. It is a good alternative for those that wish to engage in high school coursework but just are not comfortable with being on a campus. So if that is the case, you may reach out to Mrs. Edwards. Her extension is at the bottom. I believe it's 108 to place your child into our independent study program. Spots are limited, so please reach out as soon as possible when you know. And online registration. Okay, so for those of you who are still in the online registration piece, this is how you do it. So you'll go on our website, which is wheatlandhigh.org, and then you're going to click where it says new student registration right here on the bar right below this fabulous picture of our boys basketball team. Once you click there, it's going to welcome you to the online enrollment page. Please note that you cannot, or your student cannot, select classes until this online enrollment registration piece is done. So your 8th grader must be registered in order for them to be ready to pick classes. So you're going to go through this form that's on the right, and then you're going to enroll a new student. Once you enroll a new student, once you click that, it's going to take you here. The registration and records piece is going to be right here that shows you how to do the new enrollment student process. And then after that, once that's completed, you're going to have your student look through the registration information as well below. In this sheet are the forms that we handed to your students when we met with them when we came to their campus this last week. It's an opportunity for you to see the 9th grade course sheets, as well as the booklet that's on there that would explain what courses that we do offer here on Wheatland for your 9th graders. This is the registration process for all students. So just so that you're aware, this is our timeline to get students registered for school next year. Okay, so the first one, enrollment has opened from February 1st through 10th. You still have time to enroll your student if you didn't do it within this window, but just make sure to get it done as soon as possible with the process I just showed you. The second thing you're going to do is review course catalog information, which was located on that last slide that I was showing you. You can also type in course catalog on our school's website to find it. It'll be the 2023-2024 course catalog, which has information on all the classes. The week of February 6th, this last week, our counselors did visit the junior high schools to go over courses and programs with your 8th graders. Now, this upcoming week, the 13th, is when you can start registering for classes on Aries. So you have from the 13th until the 24th to register for these classes. We've also made a separate video that you can find on that previous slide. Let me go back to it right here. That shows, if you click that video right there, you'll be able to see the video on how to select your courses specifically for classes. So then once that is done, this is what the 9th grade course selections will look like. And I believe that is yours.
Yes, so just to highlight, many of you may be familiar with Aries from your students' past school, but Wheatland High School itself is we're not a unified school district with our feeder schools. So while you may have an Aries account with your current middle school, wherever that may be, that does not communicate to our Aries account here at Wheatland. So even though you're like, oh, I'm already registered with Aries, you have to do a completely new registration in order to register for those classes. So once that's done, you've picked your classes. This is just an example of what the schedule may look like for your new 9th grade student. To give you a look, these aren't their only options for classes. That form students were given by our counselors when they visited their school has all of their options listed. It looks like this. You may have seen it at this point. So again, this is all the options students have. For a lot of the CTE pathways, students will need to take the first class before they can take everything else. So under that CTE area, they are all listed in the order they have to be taken. So again, this is just all the options they have coming into 9th grade. So as Mr. Jordan spoke on before, if you have any questions about what classes are specifically, you can always find the description in our catalog. You're more than welcome to contact any counselor here or staff member on campus if you have any more questions that maybe the catalog didn't answer. Our website itself is a great resource and has a lot of descriptions about the classes as well. Other things to be on the lookout for, if you're ever looking for additional information, watch your email, especially once you are registered in Aries. We can start sending email communication to you. Our Facebook page we post a lot on there about upcoming events or just things to look out for, and we keep our website up to date as well. The next thing kind of in the journey of becoming an official Pirate member will be Pirate Come About, and this is our version of freshman orientation, and it'll be right before school starts in August. So the dates are the 7th, 8th, and 9th. We will register kind of just RSVP over the summer, so make sure you're looking out for that form and register your student to kind of come and be acquainted to campus. Transportation and food is provided every day. At the end of the 3 days, students will receive their schedules for the upcoming year, know where their lockers are, get all of their school supplies like Chromebooks and things like that. So Pirate Come About is a pretty big deal, so it's important to be on the lookout for.
And last, if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. So for help with the enrollment and course selection process, we ask that you please call our front office and speak to Mrs. Lambert, who's extension 100, or Mrs. Calta, who is at extension 109. Now, if you have course-specific questions, please feel free to reach out to Miss Embry, who is a 9th grade counselor at tembry@wheatlandhigh.org, or Mr. Diaz, who's a 9th grade counselor at hdiaz@wheatlandhigh.org. You can also reach out to myself, cjoran@wheatlandhigh.org, if you do have any questions. And then we have Miss Holsey. Her email's not on here, but she is the Pirates at Sea counselor. For any of you who may have questions regarding that, you may reach out to her as well at sholsey@wheatlandhigh.org. We really appreciate you guys coming on here and listening to us talk about registration. If there are any further questions, please feel free to reach out so that we can support you. Otherwise, we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.